Hi guys. This episode will be more of a metagame. Well, I usually all my episodes are metagame discussions, but this episode will be more to discussing about staples in decks. Since I'm more of a deck builder rather than a duelist per se, I oftentimes like to see how a deck ticks, and I like to discuss the cards that are being played mostly in them. Most of these are kind of more metagame cards, to say the least. Of course, it's what our channel is more about. Let's get right into it. If you guys want to pause the video during this whole entire thing to understand what some of these cards do and as to why these cards are pretty good, some of the effects are pretty self-explanatory when you pause the video and you'll see it. So I won't take that much time. So let's get into it. Majesty's Fiend. It's been being played a lot in a lot of extra decks recently, and it's been seeing a lot of play. Firehand and Ice Hand, these are more side deck options these days since hats have been down in resurgence lately. Mathematician is being run a decent amount of Burning Abyss decks. They still run this over, what's it called again? Supply unit or supply squad. Curry Bandit oftentimes net you 1 for 1 or +1. Tour Guide, good to see this back. This used to be a pretty expensive card. It's actually going up in price at the moment since Burning Abyss players and the deck is really good. Maxis is oftentimes when people who can't afford any Vanity's Emptiness can get this card. DD Crow, a lot of people actually main decking his card at the moment. Since it's a really good card, it helps you get a lot of outs against your opponent. Effect Veiler, a lot of people are actually playing this now again with the Breakthrough skill, other than the last meta before they actually played this over Breakthrough skill over Veiler, because Veiler used to be, it's still end phase and this is end of turn, since a lot of effects are actually end of turn effects rather than end phase effects, because then Veiler effect wouldn't work anymore. Mind Control. Nobody likes being seen their shit get stolen. A Dark Hole, it's pretty okay card. It's been seen more side deck play rather than main deck play because of a lot of monsters that have the innate ability that cannot be fucked by Dark Hole. Um, Soul Charge, it's basically Monster Reborn 2.0. A lot of people are expecting this to be hit in the upcoming ban list. I don't know. There's too much of a downside to the card to have it to to warrant it. But then again, I can see the point of wanting them to limit the card or even ban the card, because this card actually allows you to get back cards that was destroyed by a whole lot of your opponents' disruption, and them not being able to have any more of those type of cards to answer your soul charge anymore. It's a really good blowout card. Let's see. Upstart Goblin allows you to play like 37 cards basically. Simple on the text, draw a card from your deck. That's it. 1,000 life points given to your opponent oftentimes matters less than you would think. Only in a game where you're playing Soul Charge in your deck with Upstart Goblin, then that can be a small little issue for yourself, because you're basically giving your opponents 2,000 life points for your Soul Charge activation with your Upstart Goblin. Night Beam, this is more of an OCG card. It's just my own personal opinion on the card because I like it. Uh, but then again, we do not have heavy storm in our meta, and this actually is good against decks that actually run a little less back row than others. Part of Duality, it allows you to play 37 cards. Only downside, you cannot special summon, and it allows you to only have it reveals your opponent what you're playing in your deck. Part of Dichotomy, this is seeing a lot less play because of a lot less hats being played. Mystical Space Typhoon, Blind MSTing is not that good much anymore. People will still run like 3 MSTs, but maybe only 2 main, 1 side, or 3 side, non-main, and that's how it looks to be this meta. Book of Moon allows you to reset a lot of your Statella Knights, your Falcons, your Beast, a lot of your cards in your deck. Well, doesn't reset your cards in your deck, it resets your cards in the field. And it's a good disruption card from your opponent if he wants to use something. Forbidden Chalice stops a whole lot of like damage step effects. Doesn't stop every damage step effect, not like Bujin or anything, but I mean it at least stops a whole lot of, like, if this gets destroyed, then damage step it can pop your opponent's card at the same time. And you chain this on it and it's like fuck off. No. You just die. Forbidden Lands, pretty good card. It protects you from a whole lot of this type of shit. Spacetime Trap Hole, this is seeing a lot more play than not because of Murmillo. It's pretty good. Bottomless, seeing still a lot of play because basically most of the limited cards are still seeing play because they're limited for a reason, because they're really good. Trap Trick, Trap Hole, Nightmare, not seeing that much play because of a whole lot of less um, monsters or less cards that this can hit. Mirror Force really okay. I guess it's a blowout card that your opponent can't expect. Let's see, Torrential Tribute. It's really good. It's kind of like one of those type of cards like, ah, shit, my field is gone. Oh well, I'll just soul charge it later next turn. There's Dimensional Prison, which is pretty sweet in a certain matchups, but it's pretty slow in the others. Virtue Skill, I like this over Veiler, but in Veiler again, it's a light target. So if, say for example, you play some type of Chaos variant and drop your Veiler and there's Burning Abyss decks that actually run Veiler, it's still pretty good. A compulsive activation device, it basically allows you to disrupt your opponent's plays, stop their monsters that was special summon from the extra deck, send them back to deck. You ain't gotta give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Vanity's Emptiness. It's more of a -1 that I'm not too much of a fan of. Call of the Haunted is mostly seen in Statala Knight decks. I wouldn't see too much in any other decks other than Statala Knights. There's lies. There's other decks that actually would still run this and do still run this, but it works the best in Statala Knights because it doesn't matter how the fuck the Statala Knights were summoned, as long as they were summoned. They still get their effects. White Tap is a pretty good card. It's just like fuck all your traps, fuck all them, fuck all your fringe weird ninjutsu transformation weird crap. This says nah. Leave my cards alone. Blackhorn in Heaven stops a decent amount of cards like JD, BLS, Chaos Sorcerer, stuff like that. It's okay. Exceeds Synchros. It's okay still. Solemn Morning stops a lot more stuff than that, so that's why it's at 1. Not like in the Gladiator format, where you had 3 of these fuckers going around and 3 War Chariots. Y'all remember those days. Felgran, when the extra deck is more or less pertaining to a lot of the somewhat staples. A few of these are a little less stapley than the others. Huh, stapley. It's not even a word. Less utility, has less utility in the deck than the others. Felgran is basically a Chalice and Lance at the same time. Zenmayo can get rid of like stuff like uh, Mirror Force and Dimensional Prison, or there's a whole bunch of like non-reactive cards unless you attack with them. Basically, that's what I mean to say. Pallades is seeing a lot more play, and I'm expecting this to see a lot more price resurgence as well. On the arc, yeah, I'm gonna steal your shit. That's all the card says. I'm gonna steal your shit, and I'm a Zenmayo. Not Zenmayo. And I am a Jin, the Jin Symphony Jin Maestro. Castel basically sends back any stupid, annoying, plussy type of card like Spellbook Tower, a Winda. It's good. It's really good still. But yeah, this is what can I say about this, man? This is JD, baby JD. Lavava Chain, it's the Euro card, but with a good reason. In a Mermail format, this thing was just pretty freaking broken. It's really good. Allows you to dump, set up, do whatever you need to do to get all your plays off. Resets your deck. It's really good. Daigo set MO. It's a must have if you're playing any of the type of like level 4-esque type decks. Oftentimes than not, you can make this pretty easily, and when you make it, it nets you a lot of card advantage. And the secondary effect, the target non-monster effect, I actually played this in a Dark Magician deck, but that's only for next time. Wind up Zen mains. It's good to see this back too, but it's mostly mainly being played in Burning Abyss because it helps you stall out for a few turns if your opponent doesn't have like a compulse breakthrough skill or Vanty's Emptiness after your tour guide play goes off. It's very situational, basically. A lot of extra deck cards nowadays are pretty situational, depending on if them themselves can net you any card advantage. That's all it is to it. Well, guys, thank you for having me on your screens, be it on your mobile or your computer. And I would like to wish you guys have a wonderful week. Stay awesome, be awesome, and have a wonderful day.